Hey everyone, I'm your host Shubhi Verma, core team member of GirlScript Delhi. As you know, GirlScript Delhi is a non-profitable society helping and improving beginners in technology and programming. We are very humbled by the amount of listeners that we have got for this session, and we welcome you all in the session with GirlScript Delhi. The event, GitHub Readme Revamped, will help you to create an attractive GitHub Readme from scratch. We have a 3 day long submission deadline which would allow you to show your skills and win some exciting surprises, which are for some eligible winners. We would be declaring the results by Wednesday. So, for today's session, to start, we have with us Manasvi Agarwal and Tokir Ahmed. These are our speakers for today. Manasvi Agarwal is the chapter lead at GirlScript Delhi and a beta at MLSA. Taqir Ahmed is a sophomore at Jamia Hamdard, a gold MLSA, full stack enthusiast, and a microprocessor junior engineer. So we welcome them both, and I handle the mic to them.
Thank you, Shubhi, for this amazing introduction for both of us. So, guys, you can join our Slido and you can share your questions on our Slido. We'll be addressing them in the end. So, let us start. Let me first discuss the agenda for the session. We will be discussing upon what is GitHub, what is a GitHub read, and why do we need a README, how to make a README and the basics of Markdown, and then we'll be having a demo followed by a Q&A. So let us start. What is GitHub? GitHub is basically a code hosting platform which is used for control and collaboration. And we can access different open source projects over GitHub. It is, and one generally aims to start their open source journey through GitHub. So that is the main aim that GitHub is used for. And most of you would be familiar with GitHub. And if you are not, you can you will have a little idea about it. It is widely used by almost every developer, be it any Android developer, website, or anything that you do. You always start from GitHub. GitHub is a very basic thing that everyone starts from. So, what is a GitHub README? A GitHub README looks somewhat like this that I have shown in the slide, and it is used to tell other people why your project is useful and what can they do. So, basically, why README? You could just tell them, just speak to them like I'm speaking to you, but you know, it is like when a person visits your repository, they can just find these typical information, a very basic information to learn about what the project does, why is the project useful, how users can get started with the project, where users can get help with your project, and who maintains and contributes to the project. So these are the basic details that one would want to know about the project once uh, they they check out any project on GitHub. So since it is available online, anybody can check out your project and know these basic information and contact you if case they feel the need and have any issues or want to contribute. So this is a very basic thing that one should have, and a GitHub README is a very good and a very beautiful way, I would say, to curate things. A Word document is something that is too old now, and readmes are very interesting in looking. Tokir would be showing you some amazing stuff right now, so stay tuned. So how to make a readme? So this is a basic two steps that we follow to make a readme file. The first one is that we create a file called readme.md. MD stands for markdown. It is used for a markdown file. So in the root, that is the base folder for the repository, GitHub repository that you have. And then we use the markdown syntax to format the headings, the list, the charts that we add. I just found this cheat sheet online, which I think you should just check out, because I feel that this is extremely helpful, and I think this is something which would help you in future as well. I'll share my screen and show you this as well. Just a second. Wait, just a second. I hope my screen is visible to you.
Yes, Manasvi,
So
continue.
yeah, that's great. I'm sorry about the extra tabs. Okay. So this is a very basic. So if you want this kind of a very bold and a very main heading, so you can use this syntax that is hash and then you enclose the heading name within the hash, or you could use this uh, equals to sign and then you can have the h1 tag. It's similar to h1 tag in the web dev that you use, HTML basically. The main heading is h1 heading 1. Then heading 2 is smaller and then used for subheadings. H3 again, usse bhi subheadings. And we can move with that. Common text we can add normally. We do not need any hashes or anything of that sort. And then strong text means bold and then strike through, just basic things. And the syntax is very easy. You see, there are just asterisk signs that you have to add within these, and then you can add different charts, different interesting stuff that we have. So this is like, I'll show you two readmes that we made, and it is very basic ones that we made, but you would get the hang of the project. So this is a game that we made, and we have this registration link, a picture that we had attached of the game that we made, and this one is another project. So this is a website basically. So we had this logo, and then we had the name, then we had the basic stuff, pull requests, issues, built with, and these basic things. Like, this is quite interesting, and one would want to scroll further and know what the project looks like. So these are some images that we added, and then technologies used, methodology, and one can, interesting, a contributor, so you know that who all contributed, and you can check this out. So this is the basic readme that we made, and it's pretty easy to make. And I think one should always have a readme for every project that you make, because it gives you the idea. It's not just to you, but any interviewer that you have, and they're checking out the project, so they do not need to pull the project in their system to check it out. They can just read this readme and they would know what the project is about. So I would forward this the platform to Toki, and you can start with the demo. I think.
Hi everyone, I'm Tokir, computer science undergrad at Jamia, and a microprocessor junior engineer and a gold Microsoft Learn student ambassador leading India 2022. So Manvasi has already covered the most of the things, like for the GitHub Readme, which is already being used in our repository to demonstrate what the project we are working on. So I just wanted to know from you people itself, like how many of you are aware of using the GitHub itself, Git and the GitHub system. If you people are joined over the slide, please do let us know. Manifa, could you please redirect to us over there, please?
Just a second, I'll share. Uh, Wait. Sorry.
My bad.
I think there's some issue.
No problem. Take your time.
Let me share again.
process. People are much aware of stuff.
Well, that's pretty good, I think. A good
0%. There is no. People are quite smarter in Indira Gandhi College. So yeah, we are taking this forward, and I'm sharing my screen itself. Yeah, is the screen visible? Do let me know, please.
yes, it is visible. Okay.
Sure. So friends, here it is. We are let me. So first of all, let me take you people to the GitHub itself. GitHub.com. So this is my profile where we people fork out and create project, share repositories, share codes. So I'll show you my profile. So you can see over here, it's a readme.md. There are dozens of repository which has been created. Though a moment ago, one was learning Markdown. Okay, I created a repository and created a README file, and README file has been a file which demonstrates all the work which has been done in the project or which should be demonstrated in the repository or the project to the people who have been casted out or has been an audience. So basically, README will be saved in the MD language, a Markdown language. Let me show you Markdown. Uh, so Markdown guide or a Markdown language is a plain just markup language which is present over the web, basically on the web application. Basically on the web application to syntax out all the content or the text to be prescribed in a certain manner, like GitHub. GitHub can be called as a certain web application and we are presenting our data over GitHub itself. Cool. The basic one. So there are certain rule that the README will be saved in the MD itself. So let us take a moment and create a repository which will help you to show you like how we are moving into the README file. I'm creating a new repository. I hope it is visible and clearly zoom in so that you can understand. I'm just taking the name as
Toki, sorry to interrupt, but I think we can zoom in a little.
a little bit. Okay,
Yeah.
I have zoomed in. Let me know, is it okay?
Um,
Little
one
more.
a little more. Yeah.
Sure. Event.
Yeah. Perfect.
Mark. Nothing much of description. It will not be shown. And I'm taking this as public, so you can also contribute into it, learn into it, and after the event, one can develop a lot of things from here itself. So here's the major point which I wanted to conclude: adding a README file. It is okay if you skip this part. Like you can create your own README file with the markdown.md extension afterward. But here itself for the ease one to letting you people teach about it or educate about it, I'll take this mark and go ahead. Don't worry about like what is main and all. One have to learn or understand the GitHub and the Git system to get into it. So do not worry about, just learn about the Markdown itself. And I'm creating a repository. Boom. We have that readme.md and the repository name itself is the basic one as a default behavior of GitHub to show the like the topic or the repository name into the read. So I'm just simplifying this thing and using a GitHub web editor itself to edit the file. Okay, one can clone the repository into their local system using the command line. Whatever the README file they have got can be edited into the system in the local repository and can be pushed over the remote repository. That is the origin. This is called the origin one. Okay. I'm just using my web editor. So here is a plain text file editor. given by the GitHub. You can create a lot of things over here. This is the playground where you show your creativity and a lot. This is a preview button, like this will tell you like what is being shown over the readme file. So I'm just having a little bit of a makeup of this thing, and what else can be done will be shown over there. And uh, edit. If you see that, I'm showing you the difference. It will show you. It will tell you that what is the difference being displayed or what else has been updated. See, nothing much happened. It just told you that, hey, Toki, listen to me carefully. The H1 tag has been converted into the H2 tag. Why so? Because the heading which I used earlier, it was with one shot or the one hashtag which shows you the H1. Now I'm using two. Now I'm using three. Okay. Now let me see what will happen. Good. Then change out. So you must be thinking that, hey, Toki, till what extent it will go down? Till what extent it will go down? It I can write up to 100 of hashtags. No, or you cannot write up to 100 of hashtags. It can be possible up to 5, which is currently present over the HTML. Okay, see, the H5 has been the smallest one, the tiniest one, and H1 has been the greatest one. Also, like Manasvi, keep an eye over the Slido itself. People may have like doubts can be around over here, what is happening. So yeah.
Sure, Tokir, I'll be looking into it.
Okay. So we have a lot of things that can be done over here. Like if I write so, pressing tag. Just talk here, Rahman. Just a playground, a text editor. You can write anything. And Rambo. Okay. Let us see the preview. Boom. It has been displayed so far. Can we edit this file? Like edit this text? Of course, yes. If you remember, so what was the dialog beam which presented the heading one? If I want to present this as thing as a heading, what shall I be doing? Using the hashtag. Remember to give a space between this, the hashtag and the sentence. This is your sentence which should be presented, and this is the symbol which tells the GitHub editor or the Mongo, hey, this will be the symbolic representation of the heading. If I go over the preview and tell you that, hey, it's Rocky Raman and I'm cool, the text has been bold out or converted into a heading. So, going good so far. And so you may have covered a lot of things in the heading. Let me take a strike through. Uh, heading, wait, good, and which is not true. I just want to cut it down. I use that tilde symbol. Good. Absolutely is not something boring to learn GitHub. And yeah, I'm just burden out the thing, cut out the thing using the strike through. So this represents the tilde button, the dual tilde button, or the dual tilde symbol at the front, at the end, represent a strike through. Simple. So we have learned so far about the heading, the tilde one. Let me take you to the one about the link linking, which is quite possible. But what about the quoting one? Like if I want to say something or want to highlight it, like this thing will be shown over here and this thing will be shown. So we have one thing to display, like is the date today, and if I say so, today is Sunday. Sunday, and I do want to emphasize on this fact. So what shall I be doing this? Of course, at the ultimately at the end, that thing will be displayed over a repository. So keep in mind, whatever you write, whatever you highlight, should be presented in a certain manner that it attracts the audience. So the asterisk one tells you that to hold this thing out, hold this thing out. Let me show you the proof, like whatever I have done is true or not. If I copy this thing and so you can certainly see a difference over here. This thing is bold and this thing is not bold. And which tells a lot about things, like if you want to emphasize on a certain thing in a repository, this thing will help you to emphasize on that. There's one to hold out the thing and remember to keep a line and asterisk within the markdown, because if you don't keep a line asterisk, it will continue as a simple or a single sentence. So to break a line, you have to keep a line aside of it. I'll write, you know, under microphone. Let me see what will happen. This is also doing the same. This is holding out the thing till so far. Cool. But you must be thinking that, hey, okay, if I use a single one, then what will happen so far? Like, you must be having the query, no? Like, so let us see what will happen if I do a single one. Three, two, one. Boom. So from this act, I make you to understand that using a single one asterisk or the double like a single underscore will let you to have this thing or the written text into a italic one. Good. Uh, any doubt till so far? Let me know if I'm going too fast for the people who are not able to understand anything.
Guys, you can unmute yourselves
Yeah,
and
be
ask your
comfortable
doubt,
to say anything.
or
Ask your
or you can
query.
share it on Slido. I have shared the link as well as the number of Slido on in the chat box.
Sure. Let me continue. I don't think so. They must be having any doubt. Is there any that let me know, please? Let me continue for first.
There are a few doubts on
Yeah,
Slido.
please. Yeah, please.
Should we take them up first? Okay, wait. Let me share my screen. Okay. Can we use HTML format like B and strong instead of uh no, we won't be able to use that because it's not HTML, it's Markdown, and every language, everything that you use has its own syntax, so that won't be
uh,
possible.
just wanted to add one thing here. Strong can be used. Strong is allowed in the Markdown. but
Okay,
the gold one is not allowed.
great.
Can
Can
you
you
explain?
explain why would someone start making repositories in the first place? Like, what's the benefit over storing your projects in your own computer? Takir, would you like to take
Okay,
up this question?
like this question is certainly like a very basic. See, there are certain time you have to share your project or to illustrate it to someone. The someone can be the recruiter, the hiring manager, or your friend, or the event like this itself. So where you should be demonstrating it. So here comes the GitHub, and GitHub contains a different repository to make you people understand like what is repository. It's a certain folder which contains all your data. That's it. Understand the repository in a certain manner. Like it's a certain folder which contains all your data, all your project, like a single project, and which can be shared over the internet, across the internet to anyone.
I would also like to add upon this, like, since we know that whenever we make any changes on our local computer and save it, the previous version of the changes and the game or project that you have built would be gone. So GitHub is also used for version control. So like you can push your previous changes and then you will start making the new changes, and then you can pull any of the previous versions that you made for the project. So basically, your project is not lost just in case you make any weird kind of an edit that shouldn't have been there. So
Yeah,
this does help a lot of developers. Like I myself have been saved literally a lot of times because of this. Um, because my project was on GitHub and not just on my local computer. So I always make sure, even if I'm working alone and not collaborating with anyone, I always make sure that I have a repo of the same on GitHub. Can you please explain how can I add my project? I think
yeah,
this
it can
is
be
out
clear.
of the scope of the session. I'm really sorry. I
Yeah,
cannot uh, talk about that because then we will be exceeding the time limit of the session. Instead, I think you can reach me out or talk it to
sure,
through
sure.
our social media handles, and we can share some
I share
tutorials
one
with you for
blog
the
of
same.
mine that show the same, that cover the same topic. You can read it out and
Perfect.
understand whatever is happening. So yeah, let me share my
Yeah.
screen
So
again.
you can
Reach out
there
to
are two more
anyone of
questions.
us. Don't worry. Something
So
not a big
Markdown is
outbreak.
basically text format commands.
Typically, yes. Text formatting is there. Since you
Okay.
cannot edit the YAML one now, so you have to understand the text editor one. That is it.
Where can I reach out to you? I will share the social media handles on
Sure.
the chat box and you can
Twitter,
reach out
Twitter and
to us.
LinkedIn ID. Don't worry.
Okay. Uh, how can I be a member or core of Girls? I think we can discuss it at the end of the session.
Work hard.
Yeah, we can discuss that after the session. Okay. Talkie, you may continue.
Sure, sure. Yeah. Screen visible, no?
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah.
Let me take you people to the link section where we can embed the link because link are somewhat important to our repository which helps you to deal with the certain redirection to your project. So how should we do it? So simplifying the thing, okay, the square bracket, and what I'll do is my link. This is the text will be shown for your repository. Okay. Whatever the link that you want to paste into it. I do want to paste learning documents. That have up to you, like what happens. Hey, I got the link. Whosoever will open my repository named event markdown will read all these things, will not understand what is happening, and go to this link for the new tab. And here it is. You get a lot of things. Good. And let me show you an alternative for what else can be done. My direction. Better right. And what shall I be doing? Putting a one square bracket. One. You can write it anything over here. Do not worry. I assume the one. And just keep a note what I am doing. Being a reference of whatever I am doing. Like, this is a workshop library directly from the Microsoft. Doing this thing now. I do want you people to learn about this thing. And I go over here and got the same result. Good. That person will come to my repository, click over here, and let us see what will happen. Good. Go over here. So what happened over here is that I did nothing. I did nothing, absolutely nothing. I just wrote the word or the keyword to be displayed and got the reference number. Whatever you want, doesn't matter. It can be like XYZ, ABC, whatever. And whatever you write over here will be written over here. Okay. The time you write over here and give the reference of the proper link, it will be displayed in the same manner that the my link has been displayed. Cool. Wonderful. Don't worry, we shall be committing and saving whatever we have learned and done. Ah. Moving ahead and creating the content for list one, which is list or something which should be present and tells you about the thing in a certain redirection. So what else can be done is list can be of two types. If you have learned about HTML, there you must have learned about the ordered and the unordered one. So here is the same. What you can do is create an ordered list. How to create an ordered list? First of all, I shall be creating list heading and moving into it and creating fruits. Let's list out some fruits name. Apple, orange. Let us see what happens so far. I assume this has been an order list and that has been created. 3, 2, 1. So you have got an order list and this can be displayed anything, anytime, anywhere. One to whom you want to display or context the text over the audience or to someone to whom you want to impart. Huh. Moving ahead and let us see like to create an unordered list. Let us take as creating an unordered list. So to create an unordered list, you simply have to do nothing. Just a dash button and whatever you want to write, that web browser name or whatever you can write. Microsoft Twitter, query, here. Let us see what has happened so far. I'm just previewing it. has been displayed so far. Cheers to you people, like you have learned a lot of the things. This has been an another list. I do hope, like you must have learned about the chaining system, like the chaining of the listing. Let us see, like what can be done. Let's try out. I'm going back to my editing file distro and uh, Chromium browser. Let's install some Chromium browsers and let you know that what can be done. Till so far, I'm aware of these two browsers which are based on Chromium. Let us see what has happened. See, the nesting of the list has been happened. Why so? Because in the Chromium browser, I have given the syntax for the proper spacing and the proper tabbing, and it is considering this fact as the nesting of the list. Cool. So till here we have learned about the redirection, the linking, the holding, and the italicization of the text, and listing of the things, and creating heading, different types of heading. We have five types of heading. So let us add some images into our repository, which is something considered a cool thing. So we have space and creating and adding images to help you to understand like whatever has been done will help you to recap and revise, have a better grasp over your learning. So like add an image. Simply you have all text, then exclamation. And I hope you must be aware of this. If you have learned the linking system, then you have must got it the fact that what should be given over here. Of course, the link of the image. Let us search some image. This seems nice. Huh? Copy the image, copy image link, and let us see and paste it into our repository. What will happen? Just remember, just remember one thing. Do not give to space over here. If you give the space, it will be not considered. Okay. So that's so amazing cake we have in our repository. One must be thinking that the Taukeram is a code can and a baker making a cake, which is not true. I'm just making people learn about the GitHub repository and the motto. So yeah, that is it. And image one. Uh, if you want to consider, there have been some certain ways have been pre-assumed from the HTML. Are you people aware of it? Let me tell you if you're not aware of it. Just use this tag in the HTML. Of course, yes. Then like images and copy image link and shit over here. Sorry. It will be not considered because extension has been not given so far. So yeah, we have to consider it as a non-variable thing. So anything Manasvi would like to add over here?
No, I think it's I think we can reduce the size of the image. I think it's too big.
Let me show like whatever has been done so far and image one. Right.
And I think we can also tell them a little about how to search their queries on internet, because
Like the
that is
query.
something one would surely have an issue of this, how to make a chart. So we can just search the internet first of how to make a chart. I'm pretty sure that you know this MLSA, but I want them to know
Okay, no problem.
how to search it on the internet.
Okay, I'll consider the fact that where I learned from all these things, no, from there they can refer out and understand the that log of it, the that documentation of the GitHub. Yeah. So let us consider the fact that I'm just nothing and I'm not aware of these or Markdown and the GitHub, and I do want to learn about it. So I simply type. Uh, if you people very aware of like cheat sheet that has been good, which has been spreading over the internet from a long period of time, and you can get it from anywhere. I click over here and simply got into the rendering one and the API section and all. So this is quite somewhat very heavy to understand. So from where I did learn so far, this was this blog from the very basic to the advanced. It has been told like what else can be done. It is also a cheat sheet. Forgot. I wasn't aware that it's a cheat sheet. Uh, so it has been told that what else can be done and what are the things which have been displayed, what are the rules, what are the syntax, what are the method to be displayed, and what are the syntax highlighting which can be casted over the GitHub repository. So this was my learning period, and whatever has been done for good so far. If we have some sort of doubt or understanding the image section, can be done over the Slido. Could you please redirect me to the Slido itself?
Okay, wait,
Hmm.
let
Yes.
me share the slide. Okay, I think we do not have any more questions. Guys, do you have any questions? You can post it on Slido. Other than this one, we'll be taking it in the end.
I have one more fun factor over here to be shown, like what else can be done to create a GitHub README. So I shall be displaying it at like readme.so. Do we
I
have
think
some
we can
sort of
talk. Pardon, please.
do we have some sort of question in the chat or anyone?
No, I don't find any question on the
Yeah,
chat box or on Slido. I think you can continue.
sure.
Guys, if
Yes.
you have any queries, you can share it on Slido or in the chat box, whichever is accessible to you. I have shared the Slido link in the chat box and I'm sharing it again.
Yeah. So the basic part was always to use the documentation. What I did in my learning period, like just opened my documentation, just copy pasted it, edited it, and pasted it to my repository. That is it. That's very simple. There's nothing much to understand in the Markdown and mainly into the GitHub README. We have a lot of tools which help you to create README, especially the GitHub README, a specialized GitHub README. Let me make you to take you to that website, and that website readme.so. I think so. It's a very special website for creating repository like README. So you must be thinking that hey, okay, like if all these things can be happen in just certain clip, then why so much tantrum in learning the heading, the linking, the redirection, the listing part? So calm down, I'm here. So the major factor to make you people understand is the basic one. This website will help you to recalculate it, re-enhance it, and to understand in a certain way, like you can update it in a much more better way. You will get a default value of all this thing, but you cannot edit it. So if you are people aware of the little bit of Markdown, then you will be booming out in the Markdown itself and getting an awesome repository for your GitHub Readme. So I'm just adding one of the thing, and this will be a very brief thing. Uh, just the title and description, and take me to scratch, acknowledgement one and API and all. The website is redirecting you and making you to understand. Hey, okay, project title is always given. Okay, I just understand it and just have a look over here. This will be shown in a certain manner. Enough, right? So, good evening. It will be shown over here. Okay. Learning. Sorry. Down. So there you got the preview where you can understand like what has happened before, and you can directly copy paste it into a repository and that will be updated. Let me add some more thing. The cool badges, which is already displayed over the repository, and you must be aware like how do people add the things. So these are the links and resources where do they get all these things, and simply just copy pasting it, and that the thing happens a lot. Deployment, you must be thinking that how to create all this thing and the certain blocks and blocks element. So you can go anywhere and just copy paste it and do a done. Cool. About me, the link section. See, the same manner I have displayed, it displayed over here. Just give the alt text, the link. That's it. We're done. Boom. Skills can be shown and all. Actually, afterwards, it helps you to get the icons and the idea to create like what can be done in the repository. So using these tools and these ideas, these curative ideas, I have created my uh, readme, which is always shown into the chatting. Let me show you my profile. So here you can see that it's a readme one, which I earlier promised in the starting of the event that I shall be showing and demonstrating, but I have done into my repository. So this is the thing I have done. Okay, talking I'm a learning lad and a tech evangelist. The basic one created the list using the icon which I got from the different websites using a link as well as with the icon which I earlier got from the reference of different substitute of the links like on the websites. I have embedded my blogs, text chat which I'm learning, and this can on development. Go ahead and you can edit one. Got into my repository, the readme, and it has been happened in the same way the way I have explained into the event. Cool. Yeah, nothing much to update over here because my main repository. Yeah. Anything that you people want to ask, like whatever you have not got it, but you are whatever you are not understanding, like this can be done, but you have done so far. This can be added so far. So you can go ahead and ask in the slide one. Manasvi, do you like to add something over here?
Guys, you can also unmute yourself since we are towards the completion of the session. So you can unmute yourself and ask any queries that you have, else we'll be moving on to Slido. Tokir, are you adding something or should we move into Slido?
Yes, we can move to Slido because we have learned a lot of things. Mainly covered the basic one, and what else can be done, and the resources to be shared.
Okay, so let's come to this. Okay, so we have only one question. How can I be? No doubt.
No.
Okay, I think Takir is an amazing speaker. People have no doubts. Great.
Either they have
So,
understood everything or nothing got it.
no worries. We will be sharing the recording in case anyone needs them. So that's not a problem. And how can I be a member or core of GirlScript? I'm sorry, we've already completed our recruitment process recently. So I am not sure if you'll be able to. However, you can send in your entry and through our Gmail account, like a mail um, about your details and why would you like to join in. So we'll get connected sometime. Any other questions? You can join at Slido. We'll be waiting for 2 minutes. Um,
Sure, sure.
until then, Shubhi, you can take over.
Okay, so coming towards the end of the event, I would like to thank our speakers Manasvi and Toki for taking out time for us, resulting in such a productive session, and would like to appreciate their efforts. We have shared the forms in the chat box. Kindly fill them to be eligible for swags and certificates. Also follow us on social media platforms to stay updated with our workshops and events. All the links have been shared in the chat box. Thank you.
Guys, I'd like to add that you can submit your profile readmes, whatever you've learned from the session and you've made by Wednesday, that is 6th of June, and then we'll be declaring our results to our social media platforms and mails. So stay tuned to get exciting prizes.
You just take
Um,
some screenshot of the events and post it on the Twitter, LinkedIn, tag us, and whatever you learn can be shared over the LinkedIn, Twitter. Just learn in public. This is all you can do.
yeah, you can also share it on Twitter. It is a great platform to have a personal branding thing. Um, that's all. I think we should stop here.
Excuse me.
Yeah.